Hello and welcome to today's episode of Seriously Casual. I'm funktotheface and today we're going to be taking a look at Tacticool. Tacticool is a 5v5 squad-based shooter from the team at Panzerdog, the same folks that brought us the Warhammer 40k Space Wolf game. Tacticool fits right in here at Seriously Casual, thanks to the super easy controls and its quirky style, while remaining a very fun and competitive challenge. The game has a fair bit of depth in the way of unlockable features and challenges, including different weapons, operators and special gear, some of which are at a premium. However, that's to be expected in today's mobile gaming market, but we'll talk more about that later. For now, let's check out the gameplay that's on offer in Tacticool. Tacticool uses an auto-fire function to attack your enemies, but this is actually a big plus to the game. There's much more to being Tacticool than pulling the trigger. The game will start you off on a serious winning spree. Much, if not all, of your first handful of games are against bots. It's fair enough though, as it allows new users to get to grips with the game without getting overly frustrated or penalised for being an inexperienced player, so it's a thumbs up from me there. As you level up and complete challenges, you'll be awarded various skins, pieces of new characters or operators as they're called in-game, and one of two forms of in-game currency. There's the silver kind, which is freely earned in decent enough quantities just by playing, and the gold kind, which is Tacticool's premium currency and is seldom rewarded in-game. There's a club pass available for just under £4 a month, which allows you to get more rewards for completing exclusive challenges and so on. It's the same idea as Fortnite's Battle Pass or PUBG's Royale Pass. While it's only early days, I haven't spent any money in the game and I've been upgrading my guns just fine. I'm also more than happy to watch a short ad or two to support the developers in some small way, and more importantly, to get my hands on some free in-game rewards. As I mentioned before, Tacticool does not have a fire button for your weapons. You attack your enemies by achieving line of sight with your target and manoeuvring to stay on target without getting shot. Movement controls are extremely straightforward, with left and right thumbs to move and look around, with the dash button and a crouch button. As I mentioned before, the game relies on an auto-fire system for your primary and secondary weapons. However, grenades and other special equipment can be thrown manually for some interesting and often destructive results. This allows you to easily traverse the map from a top-down isometric perspective while outmaneuvering your enemies. The environments are fully 3D, and as such there are lots of opportunities to take cover or seek out good vantage points for sniping. Different loadouts suit different playstyles, and it's actually been pulled off really well by the team at Panzerdog. It's a fresh and quirky take on the PvP shooting game trend, it's easy to pick up and run with, and the potential for competitive play is both strong and appealing. You can drive vehicles and even use them as weapons for some serious carnage. There are mounted heavy machine guns and destructive environments, all accompanied with some nice in-game physics. There's actually a lot going on under the surface of a seemingly simple and almost toyish looking game. The maps you will play in-game have their own share of destructive scenery and interactive hazards, be it freight trains, tanks, or zombies, and more. As you progress, you will unlock new maps and play modes, keeping the experience fresh and challenging as you work your way up. New weapons, operators and special equipment will become available to you at higher levels, and weapons can be upgraded for more firepower on the battlefield. The real charm of Tacticool is the laid-back way it presents itself. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, you can tell that this game means business. All things considered, Tacticool is a fitting name for a game that is actually pretty damn cool. The format of Tacticool is one to watch, as its layout and in-game mechanics are perfectly suited to the mobile platform while still achieving the action-packed, guns-blazing PvP experience. There's no shortage of shooters available on mobile, but none of them quite pull it off in the same way that Tacticool does. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it sets a trend in the style of future mobile releases. Not having a fire button is actually a really clever way of making a game that is both engaging but enjoyable for even the most casual of player. Compare the principle to the lack of an accelerator in Asphalt 9. In most racing games, you'd rarely take your finger off that button, and in most shooting games, you'd nearly always have your finger on the trigger. They're the most standard actions you could make in such games. Taking that function out of the hands of the player allows for a new dynamic of gameplay. I'm certainly not saying that I'd like to see manual firing abolished from gaming, far from it, but in a game like Tacticool, the idea works brilliantly and actually brings something to the game rather than taking away from it. There's a definite GTA vibe to the look of this game and the way it presents itself, which just helps the game achieve even higher levels of cool. It looks fun and familiar while giving you a new and unique gaming experience. For all the good things I have to say about this game, there will naturally always be a few areas for improvement. I decided to give this game an 8 out of 10, subtracting points for the following reasons. 1. There are a couple of bugs that will cause you to suicide, such as dashing into the wrong bit of terrain, like this for example. If this piece of sheet metal is going to kill me, then I want a decapitation animation to prove it. 2. Voice chat within your squad only seems to be available if you create a custom squad from your friends list. In random matchmaking, you won't be able to communicate with your teammates, meaning less tactics and more chaos. It's still loads of fun, but being able to communicate with your team in matchmaking would be a very welcome addition. 3. I feel that in order for the game to properly embrace the tactical nature of its very fast-paced, arcade-style gameplay, an on-screen compass would be really useful. Being able to give concise directions to teammates would really up the ante in competitive play. And finally 4. Some weapons are behind a paywall. While I appreciate that developers need to pay the bills and the players are the ones who provide that financial support, making non-cosmetic items available at a premium will always deter some players. Other PvP mobile games manage to ensure a reliably competitive gameplay format without requiring premium items to be a contender. If more cosmetic items were available at a cost, then I have no doubt that they would do well commercially. Skins and costumes, etc. would be a more than acceptable way to spend your money. The real problem here is that some weapons can only be acquired with premium gold currency. It doesn't even look like you can grind your way to earning enough silver currency to acquire certain weapons in the game. This is a frustrating concept and will more than likely be the reason that I eventually put this game down once I feel like I can't progress any further without emptying my wallet. Tacticool was released earlier this year and has since won several awards, and it's easy to see why. While the game is really still in its early days, it has managed to achieve a good status in the mobile gaming community by providing a polished, well-produced experience to the player. I'm expecting Tacticool to go from strength to strength, hopefully giving the developers a chance to refine the experience even more and maybe even implement some of the changes that we'd like to see in the game. Only time will tell, but I'd advise you to watch this space. I've been funktotheface and thank you for watching Seriously Casual.